What's up, guys? This is the Vikings next with John Kramer. I'm your host, John Kramer, and in today's episode, I'm going to go over my recap of the Vikings versus the Bears Monday Night Football. Start, Kirk Cousins threw only 81 yards. He should have had 381 yards in that game, and he only threw for 81 yards, but for some reason we decided to do the exact thing that we know we can't do against the Bears, which is run the ball. It showed on the TV, it showed Dalvin Cook has averaged 2.7 yards per carry against the Bears, but we still ran the ball either way. It made absolutely no sense when the entire Bears secondary was out. The entire Bears starting secondary was out. So Justin Jefferson should have had a huge game. He should have 250 yards. No question about it. Their top cornerback last night. Their top cornerback last night was, I'm going to check. I know Jalen Johnson was out, who is their main starter. So, the only healthy defensive backs roster is cornerback Kendall Vildor and safeties Marquis Christian, Deion Bush, and Teez Tabor. As a result, the Bears flexed 4 practice squad defensive backs to the active roster on Monday afternoon. Thomas Graham Jr., Michael Joseph, Bo Peep Keys, and D. Virgin, along with four other players, receivers Daz Newsome, Nasimba Webster, linebacker Charles Snowden, and defensive lineman LaCale London. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't pass more. The thing is, this is I think like the first game this season where we have won when Kirk Cousins has thrown like less than 275 passing yards or something like that. So I mean, it's cool that we won. Then again, also the Patriots beat the Bills when Mac Jones threw 19 passing yards, but that was a heavy snow day, so that doesn't count. So, having such a depleted secondary will make it more difficult to contain a Vikings offense that ranks third in the NFL in total yards and 7th in passing yards. Yeah, that didn't actually happen because we never passed the ball unlike we should have. We should have passed the ball way more. As I said, Kirk Cousins should have had 381 yards, not 81 yards, and Justin Jefferson should have had 250 yards. Why did we run the ball so much? I'm going to pull up Dalvin Cook's stats from last night. Dalvin Cook, no, that was 2 nights ago, actually. I know he did average a little better than he normally does, but yeah, 3.2 yards per carry, 28 for 89. And then let's go to the Eric Kendricks ejection. First of all, I saw the replay, and that should not have been an ejection. Yes, it was a pretty dirty hit. Yes, he should have absolutely been penalized, because it was a head-to-head hit. The thing is, normally quarterbacks normally lay down while they're sliding. Justin Fields decided to sit up, so he was looking for it, basically. And also, if you saw the replay, Eric Kendricks was actually lifting up his head as he went down to hit him. It wasn't just like he just went straight through. He was going up, and then he tried to come back up, and he still ended up hitting him. Eric Kendricks also isn't a very dirty player, so it's not like that's just commonplace for him to do that. But yeah, he's not Vontaze Burfict. He's not Ndamukong Suh. He's not what's the guy's name? Can't remember what his name, but there's some guy who played for like the 49ers, the Raiders, the Broncos, who's like super dirty, as in he would try to injure you every single play. But something Romanowski. But yeah, that he should not have been ejected, but instead, so he gets ejected, but yet the Bears, all the Bears players that were fighting all game didn't get ejected. At least one of them should have been ejected. And like even Matt Nagy, kind of surprised that he wasn't eventually ejected, because the amount of times he tried arguing with the refs, he should have been knocked out of the game right there. And as I said, also all the Bears players, because every time, like every single play, they had to set up a fight. The Vikings, we'd get a penalty, whatever, move on to the next play. The Bears, they'd get a penalty, no, they'd start fighting. I know that was a horrible impersonation, but that was horrible. But and then also, like later on, I remember one of the Bears' last drives, they marched right down to the red zone with their starting wide receiver. They didn't have their top wide receiver was Darnell Mooney. They didn't have Allen Robinson or Anthony Miller. So I'm gonna check who their starting wide receiver is. Allen Robinson, Damiere Byrd. That's who. Damiere Byrd and Jakeem Grant. So yeah, Anthony Miller doesn't play for them anymore. So Marquise Goodwin, I don't think he played last night on Monday. But then they also had Damiere Byrd and Jakeem Grant. And for some reason, Patrick Peterson was getting dusted by Damiere Byrd, a guy that 99.99% of NFL fans do not know about. I have a feeling a lot of Bears fans don't even know about him. And he was dusting one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL, Patrick Peterson. I even heard, because of all the players that the Bears had on the Chinese flu reserve list, it should have been a bloodbath. It shouldn't have been 37-3. It shouldn't have been 17-3. It should have been 27-3. It should have been 37-3. It should have been 47-3. I say 3 points because that last touchdown, whatever, it was on the last play of the game. Can't really count that. But whatever. It should have been 27-9, 37-9, 47-9. It should have been a blowout. It shouldn't have, they should not have been within 2 possessions of us that late in the game. Kirk Cousins, we should have had the exact same. First of all, we should always, every single game, have the exact same game plan that we had against the Chargers, which is, if we can get Justin Jefferson in single coverage, throw to him no matter what. Just throw to him. He's either going to catch it because he's Justin Jefferson, or he's going to get pass interference, which he might still catch it because he's Justin Jefferson. And yeah, but why wasn't Kirk Cousins throwing to him? I think he had 3 catches. He should have 13 catches. Why wasn't Kirk Cousins wasn't throwing to him at all? He should have definitely been able to break Odell Beckham Jr.'s most receiving yards in 2 seasons rookie record. Should have easily been able to do that against the Bears secondary, who's starting cornerback, who I can't even remember what his name is. But of course we're the Vikings, so we can't have nice things. We cannot have nice things. And I guess that'll be it for my recap of Monday Night Football's Vikings versus Bears. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, turn on the notification bell, comment what videos you might like me to see. I've noticed my play reaction videos, the last plays of certain games, have gotten a lot of views, so I'm gonna make sure to keep filming those. Yeah, always remember, the Packers will always suck, and Skol Vikings.